The president is going to be taking a look at the statue together with the First Lady of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. on Martin Luther King Jr. Day here in the United States. You're looking at the Capitol. This is the rotunda of the U.S. Capitol. Dana Bash is inside as well. Dana, tell us where the statue is and what we're going to see.
That's right. Well, the president is going to walk out of the door from Statuary Hall, which is where we just saw him, and he's going to walk just to his right. You can see over my right shoulder, that is the statue of Martin Luther King Jr. We understand he's going to go and take a moment there to honor him, to reflect, and to think about him and this day, which is, honoring him, Martin Luther King, as well as the president, of course, since his inauguration. He's going to do that before he takes off. One other interesting tidbit that I wanted to give you when talking about the lunch, and that is, this is a big ceremony, but it's also an important day in history that there are people here who spend a lot of time trying to preserve it. And 4 years ago, that included saving the actual plate that the president, the whole place setting actually, that the president ate from. Unclear if they're going to do it a second time, but that is the kind of detail that they do right after everybody clears out of there. They take everything, they save it, because they understand. The curator told me 200 years from now, they want to make sure that these things are preserved for history and for the future.
I hope they have a really, really excellent warehouse over there where they can store all these archives, all these historic traditions. I want to see the president and the first lady, the vice president, second lady, when they go and pay tribute to Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. That is the rotunda where that statue, especially on this special day. Kate Baldwin is here. Jeffrey Toobin is with us as well. Kate, it's totally appropriate, I think, and it's been so significant for so many people across the country that on this inauguration of the first African-American president of the United States, re-elected for a second term, it happens to coincide with Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Day in the United States.
The Reverend Jesse Jackson Jr. was reflecting on the significance of it, and really the symbolism that was not lost on the president either, who spoke about it during his inaugural speech today. It was a very touching moment. I thought that was actually one moment we haven't talked much about, when he referenced Martin Luther King and his hard work in his speech. But yeah, I think it really kind of wraps up, as you and David Gergen and I were talking about earlier during the ceremony on the west front of the Capitol. Just it's the past, it's the present, it's the future all coming together in this kind of grand moment in our democracy, and the fact that it also has this rich symbolism that Dr. Martin Luther King was honored on this day as well is a very wonderful thing.
Here comes the president and the first lady. Let's just watch as he goes and pays tribute to Dr. King.
Second term on the day. I mean, that is absolutely I had the great privilege that the Bible was put back. They asked for King Museum, so it was really nice. It's amazing. And it's remarkable. The day in March. Thank you so much. You gotta go march?
All right, so the president with the speaker and Nancy Pelosi, they're now walking through Statuary Hall. Dana Bash is there. Dana, you're there on the scene of the rotunda. What happens now? He does a little military review?
That's right. He's right in front of me, Wolf, so I can just tell you that as I watch him, I can tell you what he's doing. He's just chit-chatting with not only the Democrats, but the Republicans, Eric Cantor, John Boehner. This is an image that you really don't see very often, almost never. Obviously, this is an incredibly special day, and this is I like to say, nonpartisan day. But that image is somebody who runs around these hallways all day and hears a lot of bickering. It's nice to see, and nice to see that image. So now the president is going to have a ceremony as he leaves, and then it's parade route time. So we're going to see some fun and games after the ceremony and the solemn moment that we just saw. It was a little bit hard to hear. It was very hard to hear, but it was clear. And I'm going to actually ask Eric Cantor. I'm going to talk to him in a little bit what they were saying. That they were having an interesting conversation about Martin Luther King. They meaning the president, the vice president, and others who were standing there. So, we were almost a fly on the wall, and hopefully we'll get more information about what they were talking about.
We'll look forward to that, Dana. This is a great shot of the rotunda where the president was, and now he's going to be doing what they say is a review of the troops, thanking the men and women of the United States military before he gets to that motorcade and begins that drive down Pennsylvania Avenue towards the White House. At some point, Jeffrey Toobin, he's going to get out of that motorcade and he's going to walk. We assume he's going to walk. The First Lady is going to walk a little bit. That's the really the exhilarating moment when people who have been waiting for hours and hours and hours on both sides of the Pennsylvania Avenue, they've been waiting for, you know what, let's take a little break because I want to show our viewers exactly every step of the way. We'll take a quick break, and you'll see it during the commercial as well, but stand by.